All right, so we're definitely getting there to the end. We're pretty much there for US Power Metal Month, and of course, it's time to kick off this day. And hopefully, I don't get any thunder bombs. So let's just roll on through. We're starting off with Damien Thorne, which, of course, they get their name from the Omen movies, but here, definitely some classic speed power metal. This is with their debut full-length album titled The Sign of the Jackal, which was released in 1986 through not just Roadrunner, but also even the two record labels that were definitely known for also Metaploitation, which were Cobra Records and Grudge Records. So, there's that. And this album, surprisingly, it was produced by David DeFees of Virgin Steel, who also produced Pile Driver Stay Ugly and wrote that album, but he didn't write this one. This is definitely not a Metaploitation band. This is just a studio project. This was definitely a full-on band that was just formed naturally. And this is definitely a raw production. The production for this is not nearly as raw. Probably is, but not nearly as, Pile Driver Stay Ugly here. It's definitely got a bit of a thin sound to it. The drums and everything, it almost sounds like it's being, like someone's using a pencil stick. But other than that, music is actually good. It's not a very long album. It's definitely around 32 minutes, so it's not a really long album. It's definitely kind of pushes it to be full length, but it is definitely full length, but not to where it's, pure full length. Alright, enough of that. Of course, album, this is definitely just speed power metal with, of course, with King Diamond S singing, definitely from Justin Fate, who's has a bark vocal singing, but when he does the falsettos, it definitely has that King Diamond sound. And this album does start off with The Sign of the Jackal, which is just a great way to kick it off right here. This is just definitely, and it's the title track, and already you're just in for a ride. And with Fear of the Dark coming in second, which again it just speeds on through just like with the title track. Now do not confuse this song with the Iron Maiden song, because this was released very prior to Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark. So do not confuse. The Ritual definitely kind of starts off the way it does. A little slow, but it does pick back up. This one is a little more melodic than the other, but it's definitely still pretty good. We get Grim Reaper, which is another pretty much back to the tradition of, Fear of the Dark and the Sign of the Jackal. Another fucking ruckus track that still is very done nicely. Then we get to Hell's Reign, which the way this track starts off is, of course, is with the words of Rudolf Hess, who is a Nazi politician, and of course it's that famous speech that gets used every time you speak of Hitler and that. So if you are pretty much one of those people that really are very much offended by the Nazi imagery or anything like that, or anything that's Nazi related, who knows? This might offend you, especially in 2016, since people have the IQ of a fucking monkey. So there you have that. And of course this track is also very melodic, but it fits right in. It's definitely got that sort of marching sort of style to it. Yeah, it actually is a pretty good track. I do like this. So I guess the track's theme could be definitely kind of sort of to the sort of reign of Hitler and the whole German all that shit. So not a bad song. It's definitely good. Escape or Die continues on. Still pretty good. I can't really say anything bad about it. It's just another really great track. And then we get the Siren's Call, which is by far one of my favorite songs on here, next to The Sign of the Jackal and the track that comes after this as well. Even Grim Reaper's a pretty good track that I really do dig, but Siren's Call, the reason I like this track so much is because this was actually my introduction to Damien Thorne. This goes back to like 2009. I just remember my brother, we were just, playing San Andreas, and he was going to put, since we had the Xbox, the original, and which you were able, to, rip music, and he was just ripping several tracks, and one of the albums he put in to kind of play along with the soundtrack for the game, because you were allowed to do that with the Xbox copy, he put in Damien Thorne's Siren's Call. And for months and months and years, I was trying to figure out who the hell it was, because I loved the track so much. And then I found out who it was, and since then, this is one of my favorite songs off the album. It's a killer track. Then we get the last track, which is Demon's Possession. March of the Undead. Ends the album, awesome. This is another really great track, and it's just a little similar again to the Sign of the Jackal and Fear of the Dark, and maybe a little bit of Grim Reaper as well. But this is has a really good progression as well. I do remember hearing a bit of a soft part in the middle of it before it just breaks back in. Just a really overall solid album. One that actually, for me, I had to take time to get into, surprisingly, and yesterday when I gave it another spin, it clicked right with me. This is a fucking killer album. I love this one already. So yeah, it's definitely an album you have to definitely take some time to get into. But if you're into this style of metal, you'll definitely get into it from probably, right off the bat. But let's definitely also talk about Ken Starr and Michael Monroe, which are the two guitar players here. Great guitar players. Definitely that twin guitar attack you definitely get from this album. Definitely that, and it's just this is definitely at times also can be put next to shit, I don't know what I can put this next to. Not sure about Savage Grace, maybe not, but it's definitely kind of bordering on that Metal Blade sound. Definitely good. Bass player Sanders Pate definitely does good, but there's definitely two people here. There was a guest drummer who was actually played on the demo, so I guess some of this album uses the demo tracks, which is Brian Michael Hork. So I guess he plays in tracks such as Siren's Call and that some of the songs that were on the demo. But then we get drummer here, P. Pagonis. Fuck, that was definitely a tough one to say, but he's also one of the other drummers here, so I guess he plays on the songs that weren't featured on the demo that were recorded mostly for this album. That's definitely something there. Definitely overall good album. Not really anything bad. I really dug this. This is just a killer speed power metal album that's also very close to even Agent Steel. Just a good album all around. At times there's thrashiness to it, but it's not pure thrash. Just good. And of course, after this, the band is definitely still together, but of course, Michael Monroe passed away in 1993, and Sanders Pate, who's the bass player, passed away in 2014. So that's definitely quite pretty sad. But overall, this is just a good album. If you have heard this album, what are your thoughts? If you have any thoughts, you can post your comments down below. This is saying, I'm out. Time to get on to the next album. And US Paramount Month rolls on. But not for very long. Enjoy it while it lasts.